Is it Lindsay?
Call me Lindsay.
Oh, sorry, was you saying?
You haven't asked my name yet. I'm Angela.
No, I don't shake hands with women for religious reasons. Yeah, for religious reasons.
In that case, I don't think I can speak to you anymore.
Why? Is that what?
Because I think that's really offensive.
No, men.
No, you have
but hold on.
Shake hands.
No, but hold on. Let me tell you something though, yeah? This is good. It shows you that they're incapable of having conversation with someone who doesn't believe in certain values. So they wouldn't be shaking hands with a tribal leader in Africa. They'd walk away from them. Because you're not allowed to shake hands with tribal leaders in Africa. If you had a Jew, you wouldn't shake hands with them because an Orthodox Jew. So in other words, if you don't believe in our liberal values the way we accept them and the way we shape them and the way then we're not going to have conversations with you. So that's intolerance. That's liberal intolerance. And I'm very happy it was on camera. Walk away. It's feministic intolerance. White person's intolerance. Very good. I'm very happy. Walk away. Because you know what? I'm going to speak to people on my terms. You know, if you don't want to touch me, you don't have to touch me. I'm not going to force you to touch me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And this is the ridiculousness of feminism. Let's move on the subject now. Let's change the subject to something else. If a woman, think about this from a second wave feministic discourse. If a woman decided that she doesn't want to be touched by a man, and that was her feministic stance, that actually I don't want to be, you know, touched by a man, etc., then it would be a matter of stance, a matter of ideology. And if I were to protest against that, I'll say, look, this is the autonomous decision-making of a woman who is second-wave feminist, who decided that she doesn't want to be touched by a man. Why should you enforce your will to touch a man? And in the same way now, as Muslims, we're being forced to do certain things, like having a discussion of someone in the park, and at one point she says, okay, I'm not going to speak to you because you're not shaking my hand. So what's next? The point is this, is that as Muslims, we don't need to deal with people like that, to be honest with you. As conservative, or whatever you want to call us, orthodox or traditionalist Muslims, if you don't want to speak to me on my terms, look, I'm accepting the fact that you might be a homosexual. I only ask you your pronouns. I mean, I don't even know what you are. If you're a man or woman or whatever, you know, Lindsay or whatever your name is, Jack, John, and your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whoever it is that you had with you. Because I don't know the pronouns of that individual that you had with you, that both of you walked away. But for me, say for example, I'm not in favor of transgenderism as a stance, that you can actually change your biological sex from man to woman. I'm happy to have a conversation with someone who identifies themselves as a woman, even though they're biologically born as a man. Why? Because this is meant to be a free discussion with people that believe in different things. You can't handle it when someone doesn't want to shake your hand or touch your body, or doesn't want you to touch their hand or shake their body. What's wrong with you? You know, at the end of the day, this is liberal, the muscular liberalism that David Cameron was talking about, which in fact is an impingement of traditionalist rights. We as Muslims have to stand here and say, you know what, if you don't want to talk to us on that basis, then we don't need to talk to you anyway. Because as Muslims, we have our own standards. And our own standards are based on Quran, Sunnah. If you can't accept that, if liberalism can't, and its permutations, feministic, liberalistic permutations, can't tolerate anything other than itself. Listen carefully. If liberalism and its feministic permutations cannot tolerate anything other than itself, I say to you, then what kind of liberalism is that? You don't even understand this ideology that you claim to believe in. If you're a free-willed, someone who believes in free will, as her point was, and liberalism, then really, why should you force me to touch you? Why should you force me to touch you? This whole thing of, and it's been part of the discourse nowadays, shake my hand or else. What? I'm a traditionalist Muslim. I might decide not to shake your hand. What, am I forced now to do something outside of my will? Because that becomes a kind of totalitarian system. You got to do this and you got to do that. All right, let's go to the synagogues and force the men and women to be together. Let's go to the synagogues and get the Orthodox Jews and get them to shake your hand. Same thing. Let's go to, and that's why we don't see them. We don't see those kinds of discourses with Jews. It's very unfair. When you look at, actually, I was looking recently on a Daily Mail newspaper, and they were showcasing the marriage between Jewish Orthodox people, and in that marriage, there was a separation between men and women. A full separation between men and women. Now think of this. Instead of criticizing, as they have with the Muslim community, the act of separating men and women, what they instead decided to do was, in a sense, talk about the interesting nature of that, without a negative undertone or subtext. So what I'm trying to say is that how comes you have this way of dealing with the Jewish community, but when it comes to the Muslim community, you're starting to do this. Now look, what I'm saying is that as Muslims, if you can't handle having people that believe in different things in your community, then you can't handle your own ideology. It's not even about us anymore. You don't even abide by the principles you set for yourselves. And so we have to retune the narratives. I think that nowadays there's a white person getting too rowdy like that. So to be honest, that's what it is. The white man thinks he's better than me. I see that white girl thought she was better than me. I'm not going to talk to you. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you or your boyfriend there or girlfriend, to be honest with you. I don't know what she is or he is or it is that you had there with you next to you. And I don't want to talk to any white man thinking they're better than me. Come on equal terms, you understand? Just because I'm brown and believe in something different. Don't try and colonialize me. I'm not your little slave and you're my master. We're past those days, my man. Bring your qualifications, I'll bring mine. I'm probably more qualified than you. Yeah, let's do an IQ test. The one that this racist Ralph was, I'll probably get higher than you. Don't try it. Don't try it. This is the message to the white colonialist, neoliberal orientalist. Don't try it with us no more. Because as Muslims, we're not going to have it anymore. And not only as Muslims, as ethnics in this country. If you can't handle the fact that we have baggage from other countries, you shouldn't have called us after the Second World War and your infrastructure was banged up. And you needed some blue-collar workers to fix up the country. Because we are the outgrowth of that. We are the children of those immigrants that you called over. If you don't really like it, that you have brown people with different beliefs in your country, then your forefathers are the ones who called us here. If you don't really like it that you have Muslims in this country, don't call yourselves liberal no more. Just move to an authoritarian style government. We got no time for you, yeah? At the end of the day, your liberalism means nothing to us. And that's why I say that the white colonial overlord narrative is bankrupt now. We don't need it no more. A woman walking away because I don't want to shake her hand. What's next? What, you want me to lick something? Or kiss something? What? What, seriously? Oh, maybe 3 years from now, a woman's gonna do this and show me her breast and say, look, this is the white man's way of greeting. Can you touch my breast? I say, look, man, I'm not really into touching breasts of other women. I say, but this is how we do things in our country. No, seriously. I say, okay, well, touch the breast. I said, look, man, I'm not gonna touch your breast. I said, no, touch these, both. Next thing, get on your knees, please. No, seriously, like what? Where is it gonna end? If you shake the hand today and they try and force you to do that, next thing is touch the breast. What? Why should I touch your A cups or whatever you got? I don't want to do that, I'm afraid. So at the end of the day, I think the narrative ends here and the buck stops here. We've had enough. We're not going to do what you want. And by the way, you have no legal right over me. You can't say, oh, you have to shake it. No thanks. No, thank you. And your boyfriend that you had there, what? Your little boyfriend that you had, I'm not sure what his pronouns or her pronouns are. Yeah, we want to play the game. I don't know. What is it he or she or it? I don't know. What, should I shake his hand as well? I don't even know if he's a man or a woman. So next time, don't try it. Okay, next time, don't try it. And the neo-colonial narrative ends here. So as Muslims, we have to, we start growing the confidence again. Walking away because I want to shake your hand. Get out of it. Imagine you're an employer. Think of this. Imagine that girl was an employer of some employees. Think of that for a second. Imagine that girl, if I was a Muslim trying to look for a job. And by the way, this happened to me. Yeah? And I'll tell you some secrets, by the way. I'm going to tell you some secrets. I was looking for a job as a young man. I knew that the first thing the white woman does is what? Bring her hand out. Shake my hand. What? We don't believe in... There are some interpretations of it, but I take the traditionalist understand. Take my hand, I can't shake the hand. I know already I've got the qualifications, I got the grades, I got, whatever, but because I didn't shake her hand, what's going to happen? I'm not going to get a job. So I'll tell you a secret I haven't told anyone before. Let me tell you a secret. What's your name, brother? Abdul Qadir. Let me tell Abdul Qadir a secret right now. Yeah? At one point, I was looking for a job. Going to one place, another place, and they all kept putting up their hands, and I was like, I can't do it, yeah? So what I decided to do was this. I went to I'm not going to mention what job it was, yeah? I went to the interview. And I wore some funky clothes. Not like what you're wearing. Who's got funky clothes to them? I wore some funky, nice colors, this and that, because I wanted them to think my beard was funky thing. Not religious thing. Do you get it? Yeah, like hipster guy, innit? So I walked in. This is what we have to do. What we have to do in the Muslim, and what traditionalist Muslims have to do to get a job nowadays. Imagine she was. I want you to put this question in mind. Imagine she was an employer. Yeah. Imagine what kind of discrimination I would face if I was trying to get a job and she was my boss. Think about that. She walked away. By walking away, she's just humiliated herself in the worst way possible. Yeah. And she's just put herself as a case study for hundreds, tens of thousands of people to see. Just imagine this. She did. I'm not going to talk to you. All right, cool. That's your stance, which means you can't tolerate certain traditionalist Muslim views or Jewish views or Christian views or whatever it may be. What I did was I came into the interview and I wrapped my hand around like in a cast. And I came in and the woman was like this. And I was like this.
You were.
Now I had the cast on. Now I didn't say to her my hand was broken or nothing. I just said, no, it's my, you know. And then this woman was persistent. So she tried to go for the other hand. Yeah. So there was a coffee on the table, like this. I grabbed it quickly and I was like, I was like, and I saw her coming closer, I just went like this. And I started talking to her nicely. At the end of the day, I got the job for that particular work.
You want a coffee, by the way?
No, actually, no.
No, I'll get you a coffee, no problem.
But no, it's okay.
No problem.
Okay, no problem. I got the job at the end. Before something happened and I had to leave that job out of no choice of my own. But the point I'm making is that these are real life issues for Muslims, traditionalist Muslims in the world today. And not only Muslims, I'm thinking Jews probably have the same issues. You know, it's one thing to have your views, your colonialist, liberal, orientalist views about Muslim. But now when it becomes a matter of discrimination, that you are not even capable of holding conversations with me, you are not even capable of being in my presence because of this, then we know for a fact that the issue has become an issue of racism, really, and or an issue of discrimination. Because a lot of these people don't care what religion you are, this brown guy with a beard, not shaking your hand, whatever. So here's what I say as Muslims, we really need to reclaim the narrative. Otherwise, you're going to have another generation of young people having to do what I did to get after a long time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So to end the point there, what she did there, or what it did there, I don't know what the pronouns were. What that individual did was a case study of someone who is intolerant and cannot hold down a conversation. And had that person been in another context, that would have been detrimental to someone's livelihood, to someone's bread-winning ability, and so on and so forth. So think about that, inshallah, and we've got a
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Hope this video was helpful for you. This may help others too, so please consider sharing, and we will bring more videos in the future, inshallah. So consider subscribing and you won't miss any. Jazakallahu khairan.